All right. Welcome to the Fuzzy Loaf Podcast where, I wasn't going to say two, but there's three of us today, where we talk about what's going on in news and pop culture. I'm Scott. That's
Matt.
And we have our special guest, Ben, here today.
Hello.
He's here to talk about stuff, whatever. Justice League. And whatever else happened. Mostly just Justice League. As you can tell by the awesome thumbnail that I made this week. So
It was pretty good.
Ben hasn't seen it, but it's just it's the Justice League logo for the movie, and then it's just Lisa Simpson going meh. If you can't tell, that's kind of like a little hint to our feelings.
I was gonna say, I think I understand where you're coming from now.
Yeah. So, Matt, what do we want to talk about first before we get into our big topic?
Let's talk about Star Wars Rogue One in the Entertainment Weekly coverage.
Okay.
So we got some interesting news. James Earl Jones will be returning as Darth Vader.
Of course.
Like a lot of fans will be.
He was voicing him on Rebels, so of course he was going to do it for...
Yeah. Well, I think people were worried that they were going to cast somebody... Because they were casting somebody younger for the physical body. That makes sense.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
David Prowse, is he even alive anymore?
I don't think so. I think he died a while ago.
So, I don't know if he couldn't do it.
Yeah. Other than that, we have Forrest Whitaker's character was revealed as Saw Gerrera from the Clone Wars. I think this is the 5th season from what I read. I never watched the show, so I have no...
He was kind of like I had never really watched Clone Wars either, but what I heard from super Star Wars people that he was kind of like a terrorist rebel guy.
Yeah.
He's like definitely like anti-Empire, anti-Republic, but his means are...
Well, and that probably plays into Mon Mothma was in the trailer kind of talking to Jyn Erso about how our measures were too extreme. And she's like, we are a rebel alliance, aren't we? So that makes sense.
That should be interesting. Character. Hopefully they actually touch upon that more in the movie too.
Yeah, I just went and saw... I don't even remember what movie I saw, but that trailer played before it, and I got so excited because I had already watched it online, but it was just a completely different experience seeing all of that up on a big screen.
Exactly.
And I just I felt my heart start beating faster. I was just like, oh, I'm so excited to see all these characters.
I love seeing the AT-ATs on the beach like that. That's such an interesting scene, so different than anywhere you'd see them before. Mm-hmm. But.
So we also got revealed, I don't remember if this was confirmed before, but this was the rumor going around for a long time. Mads Mikkelsen is her father, who's a scientist.
We do that.
Yeah, okay, I couldn't remember if
that was something that someone came out and said, scooped it, but now it's official.
Yeah. Otherwise, they just had some art that they released. They have this robot in the back.
That's
droid.
Definitely Alan Tudyk playing the robot.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm super excited for this movie.
I'm excited for it. The thing is, with all this character info and stuff that EW's putting out, it's I don't really care because none of these characters really mean anything
yet.
Exactly. I just want to see the movie. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's her father. It's okay, that's fine. I guess I don't really. That's nothing that's important to me.
Yeah, the only thing that is grounded in anything that already exists, it sounds like, is the Clone Wars character.
And Vader coming back.
Of course, yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's all right, I'm not familiar with these people at all, so it doesn't mean anything that they're related.
He's playing so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm that's a name that doesn't mean anything. It has no backstory.
We pretty much have confirmed that they die, right? I mean, they succeeded in the mission, but don't they...
They might.
I mean, either they die or they just never come back again.
Or they're just never heard from again. Or maybe they are just not heard from in the main story. Maybe they continued to do things that we didn't hear about.
Yeah,
that's true.
They were they were the Black Ops team of the Rebel Alliance. So maybe if this one's a hit, they'll be we're gonna do Rogue 2, and it's
fucking worst name.
I know, and it's gonna take place maybe during episode 4 or between 4 and 5. So it's because there's a 3-year gap between the end of episode 4, or the end of the original Star Wars and Empire.
Mm-hmm. And
so they could have been like a Black Ops team doing things in between.
And like with all of the extended stuff that they've been doing with the cartoons and all the comic books that Marvel's putting out now, like they could continue those characters in any format.
Because the Marvel comics take place between Star Wars and Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, so these characters could easily be doing things that we just didn't know about.
Yeah.
And they've got Alden Ehrenreich is going to be cameoing in Rogue One as Han Solo.
I had heard.
So,
is that confirmed?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but that's what the rumor is.
Yeah,
I think it's probably true.
I hope so.
I can't imagine they would not do that because they're probably like, well, we got to have someone from the main. I don't think they do. You need to have someone from the main Star Wars.
Isn't has it been confirmed either way whether or not there's any Boba Fett involvement?
I don't think so.
I think they just gave up on the Boba Fett.
Okay.
Because that movie's not even happening anymore.
Because I heard rumors of Boba Fett showing up in Rogue One, but
that would be cool.
But yeah, I'm not sure if that's...
As long as Boba Fett doesn't have... like, I don't want to see a full Boba Fett movie.
No?
Because I like the mysteriousness of the character. He doesn't talk a lot. He's just the quiet...
I don't know why everybody is so obsessed with Boba Fett.
He's cool. But that's the thing is because he's mysterious.
Died, like, right away. Like...
comes back. He didn't stay in the Sarlacc pit.
So yeah, I never got the attachment that so many people have.
But it was never something I gave a shit about. It's like, okay.
The attachment was because he was a mysterious figure, like, oh, Boba Fett. Because he looked cool.
Yeah, he's kind of like Darth Maul, where he's like a really badass cool guy who you see a little bit of, and he has a couple of cool fights and stuff.
And they killed him off in the first movie.
Yeah.
But then they brought him back because they realized that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see if they do an Obi-Wan standalone, that Darth Maul is the villain in that.
That would
and it's Darth Maul getting his revenge on Obi-Wan.
Because Darth Maul has come back in
he's alive.
Both the cartoons. Is that right?
He actually just returned in Rebels. You know, he's got his robot legs and everything.
He's got a whole life after Episode 1 that I don't know much about.
He goes like rogue, and like him and his brother try to like kill Palpatine and stuff like that. It's like crazy. And
he's like awesome.
He's like a rogue Sith kind of. So.
That's the sequel to Rogue One, Rogue Sith.
Rogue Sith. People get so confused. Okay.
I have a feeling people are going to be confused anyways because...
people are already confused, especially like older people. Like, I was watching like Movie Talk or something, and they were saying how like they're trying to tell their like mother like for like 30 minutes trying to explain to them how Rogue One is not a sequel to Force Awakens.
Yes, I was hanging out with Megan's boyfriend last night, and he was like, oh man, I'm so excited for the next Star Wars movie. And I was like, oh, Rogue One? He's like, yeah. He's like, weird that they didn't call it Episode 8. I was like, dude, it's not Episode 8. It's a prequel. Like, it happened, like, way earlier in the timeline.
And what was he like?
He's like, oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, they're not doing a good enough job of explaining that.
So it's like Lion King 1.5, you can tell people.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because this is like... so this would be like... because if Star Wars is like Episode 4 is 1,
2.8, where it happens before 2, but after 1.
This is like Star Wars 3.5, or if you're like a purist or whatever and you ignore the prequels, it's like Star Wars 0.5 because it comes like before 1. Star Wars Episode 0.
But yeah, I don't know.
Can you hear my water bottle creaking?
I can absolutely hear the water bottle creak. You're fine. Moving on from that, we have Bryan Cranston has been revealed as Zordon in the Power Rangers movie.
I'm glad we're talking about
this. This is the first thing that has made me legitimately interested in this movie, honestly.
Well, I actually think Elizabeth Banks' costume was cool.
I did too.
I was never a huge, I was a Power Rangers fan when I was a kid. But beyond that, I didn't give a shit. Mm-hmm. And people that are like, oh, it doesn't look anything like her costume. It's like, her costume looked retarded. And shit.
Like, the entire, all of Power Rangers is ridiculous. Like, and the new costumes I don't love.
I'm not a fan of
but
those.
like,
I don't like those. I think they could have done like the traditional costumes, just made them like less hokey looking. Because I actually really like because when I see when I see the Power Rangers comics and I see their costumes like how they're drawn in the comics, I go, they actually look really cool in the comics. So I'm like, I think this could translate onto the movie screen pretty well without it looking too hokey or campy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, what the reality of this movie is going to be exactly, because Power Rangers is grounded in all kinds of weird, stories aliens.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't ground it in reality. Just let it be fucking just crazy Megazords versus Kaiju.
The show was literally just them taking footage of a Japanese show.
Super Sentai, yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it's all
ridiculous.
It's all just set pieces of weird giant monsters fighting.
I think with this movie, they can, as long as they, like, we've got the 5 kids, they got to, obviously saving Tommy for the sequel.
Yeah.
Which Green Ranger in the sequel. Yeah, I just want that to happen. But as long as they have the 5 kids, they've got their Zords, and whatever else, they can do whatever they want. Because the show is crazy anyway.
My only thing that will really disappoint me about this movie is if sparks don't come out of them when they hit each other, then it's terrible. Then it's blasphemy.
Like when they hit like the monsters.
Yeah. That's the best part of the.
Do you think they're gonna have Alpha? Do you think they're gonna have Alpha
lore.
5?
Oh man,
in it too. And who will play him?
Kevin Hart.
So I'd be sold. I'd buy my ticket now. Just Kevin Hart in like doing the voice, or would you do like a mocap, or like put him in like a suit for it? You had that soul like ready to go.
That's what I want to see.
Oh, all right, yeah. But we haven't talked about Bryan Cranston and Zordon yet.
Yeah,
I think it's him like kind of like paying respect to like where he started.
Yeah,
because he voiced characters back he voiced the monsters back in the original series.
I thought that was really interesting too. Yeah, he was talking about it in somebody interviewed him after it was revealed that he was playing Zordon. And they're like, so why did you do this? And he's like, well, when I was really young and trying to get work, the only people that would hire, or like the first job that I got was doing voiceovers for monsters in Power Rangers.
That's really interesting.
So because I was talking to my friend Sam, who, we have different views on a lot of things. I'll just leave it at that. But he was just like, because we were talking about how he's been doing these movies that aren't like super helping his career a lot.
I don't think he gives a shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever he wants.
I think he's kind of doing whatever he wants, but because he was saying because that's what Sam brought up is like these movies aren't helping his career really, and I was like, yeah, well, he's gonna be Zordon or whatever, and he's just like, how does that's so stupid? How does that help him? And I go like help him, and I go, well, it's him paying respects to where he got his start. He doesn't also, really care.
You saying it's not helping his career? Even these terrible movies are probably paying him millions of dollars.
Yeah, I assume he's getting paid something.
Yeah, so it's like
he's probably making more than I am.
He had to have gotten paid
more than enough money to just be dumb.
Yeah, and assuming he was responsible with his money before, like he's had steady TV work for most of his life.
He was on one of the most like famous like shows of all time with Breaking Bad. Well, then he's got Malcolm in the Middle, which is still syndicated.
Oh yeah,
he's got to be making stuff off syndication for that. So like. He's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't need. I bet they paid even for Godzilla too. Like when he was barely in it, I'm sure he got paid a ton of money just to be in it because he was the biggest star they had for that movie.
Well, the whole advertisement for that movie was based on him. That's why when I watched it and I was like, spoilers, he dies in like the first fucking 10 minutes of the movie, or like what feels like the first 10 minutes of the movie. It was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. So. I don't know. I think it's cool that he's doing it. I like that he's paying respects to where he got his start.
I also like that it doesn't seem like he gives a fuck. He's just like, whatever.
I like that shit.
I'll be ahead in it too.
Well, it's like Ben and I were talking about Kevin Smith the other day on how like he's just making movies that he wants to make. Yeah. He does not care.
Once you get to a certain point in your career, like you're known enough that people will give you work, and like you have enough of a like pillow behind you of all the money you've made so far that you can just do whatever feels right.
Because Kevin Smith has other things too. He's got all the podcasts that he has. He's got things with Screen Junkies. He's tons of merchandising for characters that he's made. Yeah. There's millions of Jay and Silent Bob action figures and shit. Like they just released a new Mallrats mini mates that I really want to get. There's like all this crazy shit.
And so, like who wouldn't, like what director wouldn't want Bryan Cranston in their movie? Like if he needs to make money, I'm sure he can go out and get a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's proved that he's a great actor. Like,
he's got incredible range.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not that he's a bad actor and is in bad movies because he's a bad actor. He's in bad movies because he must enjoy it or enjoy the people.
Well, apparently they're not like really bad movies. They're just kind of like.
Well, no.
Well, did you see Rock of Ages?
I haven't seen.
I have seen that, unfortunately.
But the movies aren't like they think of Bryan Cranston and he's up here, and the movies don't like reach the level that people think of when they think of him.
Yeah,
that's the problem. They expect him to be.
He also appeared in a ton of bad movies before he was really famous. I don't know if you remember this, but like I remember I'd be watching a movie and it's like, is that Bryan Cranston?
Is that the dad from Malcolm in the Middle?
Why is he in this really shitty movie? Like, well, I guess
it's crazy that of all the people in that show, he became the biggest star.
And oh man,
I don't know, man. Have you heard of Frankie Muniz's really shitty indie band?
No.
Oh, is he done drag racing or whatever he was doing?
I think so. I think he's in an indie band.
Hey, when you're young and you got a lot of money, you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm sure he's doing fine too.
But what's even funnier is I think he's the drummer in the indie band, if I remember correctly.
Oh well.
Oh, good for him.
Who cares?
Not even the frontman.
I want to Google this now.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Let's see. So we have the director was announced for the Spider-Man animated film.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about this.
I was just looking into this, and it seems like it's his first directing job.
Yes, this is his first directorial job.
Who is
Bob Persichetti?
Yeah, I wouldn't know it. I guess I don't know why I asked, because he said it's his first directorial, so I would not know who he is anyway.
And I don't know if he has animation experience either.
He does.
Okay,
He's credited in just the animation department on a bunch of big animated movies. Hercules, Mulan.
I mean, that makes sense then. Taking somebody that has experience doing animation makes much more sense for a director than grabbing some big name Hollywood person that never worked on an animated film, because it's entirely different.
Someone who knows a little more of the process and what goes into all of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually...
And let's be real, Phil Lord and Chris Miller they wrote and are attached as EPs, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's just probably them putting their name to it to get people's attention.
Yeah.
But the thing with this movie that bums me out is, okay, so they're saying it's going to be about Miles Morales.
Hasn't been confirmed yet.
But that's what the rumor is. If that's true, that bums me out, because I feel like that lessens the chance of us getting Miles in live action.
I don't think so. I think their plan, like I said, is still they want to introduce Peter Parker. They need to have him have his tenure, maybe 3 movies.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But if they're doing like, we got our Peter Parker live action Spider-Man, now we're gonna have Miles in the animated. I just feel like
this might just be testing the waters too, to see how fans react to Miles Morales.
Trying to get him out there in the mainstream.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I think having Miles is a good idea. Just because if it was Peter Parker, then
I just don't think we need an animated Spider-Man movie.
We don't.
I don't think we need it, but that doesn't mean.
I mean, we don't need anything. But
also, some people really love the Spider-Man animated TV shows.
Oh yeah.
So.
Spectacular Spider-Man was spectacular.
Fitting choice of a name.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like, even though we've got the DC live action movies going right now, we've still got the DC animated features coming out.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't
but this one's going to be
anything.
in theaters, this animated
Oh,
Spider-Man.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Does that change things for you a little bit?
I'm just surprised by that. That makes me a little more interested.
I think.
Is it going to be I wish it would be a 2D animated movie, because
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 2D animated movie.
They don't do 2D animated movies ever anymore.
Why not?
Because they don't.
I mean,
it sucks, because I love 2D animation.
They do. They're few and far between, but I would be
They're really
what do you mean? Yeah, it might be. It's still going to be like CG animation.
I'm talking like hand drawn, like anime. They don't do that anymore
because it's too expensive.
I know it sucks, because I like
they can fully animate the movie and make it flat.
Because I like that style more than
it's too much
3D.
I completely understand. That'd be like we could record.
I understand, but I don't like it. That's what I'm saying.
But
because I watch all these shows. They're 2D hand drawn. Whatever.
I don't.
Well, they're not like exactly hand drawn, but like
the 2D style. That's what I'm saying. Is they could still computer animate everything and then flatten it to 2D.
Right. We're like saying like Steven Universe, stuff like that. Those are all. That's a style that I like. Yeah. But movies aren't made that way anymore.
I could totally.
Everything's all 3D.
A
3D movie would be weird as fuck.
I would be really interested to see what style they go with, because like the DC animated movies are all
they're that 2D
rather than like computer animation.
That's what my hope would be.
But then they could also go like, have you guys seen Paperman, like the short that played before Wreck-It Ralph when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Because like that was a really interesting blend of, it was computer animation, but it had sort of a 2D feel to it where everything had outlines and really rich, like it was all black and white, but like the coloring was really nice and like gave it a sense of depth without it feeling too three-dimensional.
Yeah.
And I feel like it makes me think of like the visual style of the Ultimate Spider-Man video game.
Oh, I like that
like
visual style.
Cell shaded, interesting, like comic booky art.
Cell shaded but 3D animated. That's pretty cool. I'd be okay with that.
I feel like it could fall into that category of being like a really interesting blend of the two, and I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, I feel like this project is Sony giving more weight to their animation studio. Because they have this animation studio that they haven't really been doing much with besides Lego Movie. I'm trying to think of...
They didn't do Lego Movie. That was Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah, no. What am I thinking? What has Sony Animation even done then?
Recently?
Hotel Transylvania.
Okay.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh.
Ratchet and Clank, probably.
That would make sense.
The Smurfs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good.
Weird range of stuff.
Hotel Transylvania is not bad.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is good.
And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is...
And is Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But that's probably why I thought Lego Movie was because of them. But this is probably just them giving more weight to what their studio is doing and probably testing the waters to see if this kind of thing would work.
It is, because, when was the last time... Has there ever been like a theatrically released animated superhero movie like this?
I don't think so.
I can't think of it.
At least
not
for
recently.
A long time. There may have been in the 90s, like with the Batman, or the early 2000s with some of the Batman series, but
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
no theatrical release.
I can't think of any.
Nope. So, unless you count The Incredibles.
Well, it's no.
No, because it's not an adaptation.
Yeah.
Unless you count it as a Fantastic Four. It's like the best mashup between Fantastic Four and Watchmen. It's just so perfect. But anyway, is that all for like the small stuff? We're gonna get Justice League yet, or
One more thing that I want to bring up. So Netflix and CW are in negotiations right now to. First off, CW is pulling all their shows from Hulu, and they're negotiating with Netflix to bring the entire season of the show 2 weeks after the finale airs for all of their flagship shows.
just your foot? I was like,
Yeah,
what
you're
the hell
playing
is
footsie
this?
with me. I think this would be great. I think this is a great move, and would love to see more networks do this, just because this is how people want to watch TV shows, in my opinion.
Everyone except me.
I fucking hate week to week.
I don't mind week to week, but I also don't mind binging either.
Yeah.
But it's like, I gotta have some shows week to week. I have to have some, because if I binge, then I've got nothing to watch for like weeks.
See, and I'm totally cool with that, because then I have months of my life to do other things.
No, my life is really boring. TV like fills that boringness where I'm just like, I found the show You're the Worst, and I watched the first like 2 seasons in less than a week, in like a few days. So now I'm just like, well, now what do I have to do?
We watched the entire 6 seasons of Game of Thrones up until the finale. We still have the finale to watch in a month because we got HBO Go.
You finally watched Game of Thrones?
Now. Yeah, because it's a lot better now that I can binge watch it. Because I watched like episodes as they were coming out when it first came out, and it was like, this show is like, it's too slow. There's not enough going on.
I watched all of Battlestar Galactica in a week.
Oh man.
Over spring break a few years ago, I just laid in bed for a week and watched Game of Thrones, and watched Battlestar Galactica. What the heck? Just kidding. So, that's the problem with binging, is I go too hard on it. I like some shows to binge, like Daredevil. It's a nice like long movie, but things like The Flash and stuff like that, I'm fine with the week to week.
And I think those shows tend to be produced with a week-to-week viewing pattern in mind.
Yeah.
Like, I think everything is produced more with binging in mind than it ever used to be. But
network shows especially are week-to-week.
Exactly.
shows.
Network shows, they air every week. They're paced to be their own little weekly stories.
Cable things are different.
Yeah, like Netflix, they put the whole season up at once, and that's exactly why Daredevil is paced that way. It just feels like one long, continuous story, because it is. And, they'll still have season-long arcs and everything, but I feel like their they have more in mind individual episodes standing on their own.
Yep.
And I think viewing it weekly makes each episode stand out a little more. And so there are merits to both, but I like the weekly. I like the updates of getting to check in with these characters again every few days and be like, hey, what's going on now?
Yeah, it was like Tuesday's my Flash day, Wednesday is Arrow, Thursday is Legends of Tomorrow, Monday is Supergirl now. And so it's like I've got something I can watch when I get home from work.
And it's like a year-long ongoing experience rather than like spending a couple days of your life just burning through it.
Exactly. So, I mean, I like binging for certain things. Other things, I like the week to week because it fills that void in my life.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've realized with like, I fell out with The Flash because, or like a lot of the season, the like television shows that I was watching, because they're made with like the week to week in mind, where there's filler episodes and there's like, it's like that shit. I just don't have time for that. I don't care. If it's a shitty episode, I'm not gonna watch it. So that's why I like Netflix's approach, where it's like, we're gonna cut the crap. It's 10 episodes. You can watch it all right now. You can watch it whenever you want.
So you're not a true TV person like me.
No, I fucking
TV
hate
grew like
TV.
TV raised me, pretty much. So, like, I am totally fine with most of its faults. I just want to. My thing is, I want to watch. My only problem with TV is I want to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. I don't want to be beholden to their arbitrary time schedule. It's like, just give me the ads. It's fine. So let me watch it on my own time. That's all I want. Otherwise, I'm fine with like everything, all the baggage that comes with TV.
There is like an interesting art to like the filler episode and like stretching a story or compressing a story based on network demands and stuff.
It's kind of fun too, especially when you recognize it right away.
It's sort of getting lost with TV being more directly like, you know, here's the story we're trying to tell. We're going to tell it the way we want to tell it. Here you go. Which is beautiful and amazing in its own way. But yeah, there's sort of the weird bureaucracy of TV and the way it shapes things is getting lost, which is ultimately probably for the best art-wise.
Yeah.
But like,
I just remember watching an episode of The Flash, and within like the first minute and a half, I was like, oh, okay, it's filler episodes. Just by like a line of dialogue they said where it's like, we don't do whatever enough or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, so nothing important's happening this week.
The one where they go to the mall and...
No, they went to a club. That's exactly what they did. They went to a club. I don't even remember like what happened in it. Yeah, it's like, it's super filler. But, so, I'm just bummed it's not going to be on Hulu because it's like... it gives me less of a reason to have Hulu.
I might just cancel Hulu then, because I think the CW shows were the only shows I was...
There are some cable shows that I've fallen in love with on Hulu, which I like Hulu for. But I'll have to just watch... you can still watch them on CW Seed the next day.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just do that.
Has Hulu kept all the episodes as they put them up? Or do they lose them after?
Part of their CW thing is...
5. Okay, 5 weeks.
The CW thing is they only have the 5 newest episodes. That's their thing with... CW anyway. Some shows they'll have the entire season.
Yeah.
Or they'll have like multiple seasons where like, say I want to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I watch that on Hulu. They have the newest season and the newest episode, and then you can go all the way to season 1 with that too.
Because see, that was part of my issue with Hulu. Like I've never been motivated enough to get my own account, but a friend of mine lets me use hers, and yeah, like there were several shows that I wanted to go back and start watching that then I couldn't because Hulu didn't keep all the episodes. And that's part of the benefit of Netflix, I think, is with a few weird exceptions, they generally have entire seasons, and even though you might have to wait longer, you get the entire story all there in front of you. But like Gotham, I haven't gone back and watched all of because midway through season 1, like they just didn't have all the episodes.
It's a network thing. The network decides like what they want. It's dumb.
And like Agent Carter was the same way, where I was like, oh, I watched the first episode of this, I should go back. And then by the time I was too late, and by the time I tried, it was like 4 episodes in, and that was the earliest you could get.
And it so like varies from like show to show, so you don't even know. Like,
yeah.
Hulu's good for having like cable shows that Netflix doesn't have. So like You're the Worst, I found it on Hulu. It's not on Netflix that I know of. So I was able to watch all of season 1.
It's not on Netflix because it's part of FXX.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
FXX.
it comes out like I think 2 years after the season airs, they put it on Hulu.
Yeah.
Complete bullshit.
No. I put it on Netflix, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Because I watched it on Hulu. And then season 2 had like just ended a few like months ago or whatever. So I just went and bought season 2 on Google Play. And just watched with my Google Opinion Rewards and got it for free. So
Nice.
And watched it. So I find ways to get around watching TV. And we got on a weird tangent. I'm done talking about this.
All right, main topic.
We spent too much time on this stuff. So Justice League's going to be like 3 hours. We talk about it probably.
I've got 2 things to say about Justice League.
Yeah, got one word. All right, Matt, take it away.
All right, so the main topic is Justice League Part 1 discussion, I guess.
It's just Justice League.
I know, but it's part 1 of a part 2 or of a 2-part movie.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
It's not
I don't think it is.
That's the biggest thing that came out of like this like whole thing was that they said this is not a 2-part movie. This is just Justice League 1.
From the premise and stuff that they're talking about, this still feels like it's a part 1 of a part 2.
It feels like it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
And of course, it's building towards future things. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be a continuous story no matter what. But from what I gathered, it sounded like it was just a one.
I'm
I might be
just
wrong about
reiterating
that,
what they said. I feel the same way you do.
Okay.
I'm just saying what
I was
they
like,
said.
What they said and what it seems like is actually happening are 2 different things. But anyways, so they had set visits for Collider
Everywhere.
Video. Yeah, it was a bunch
Collider, Birth Music. Basically, if you're a movie blogger reporter,
Yeah.
you got flown to London.
You got to go hang out with Batman.
And
Pretty
so
much.
they were there for 2 scenes being taped, and then they were showed some like in video game speak, pre-alpha footage, not finished footage, not colored, not all that stuff. And then they got to interview some of the cast and crew. So what we do know, or what we were told, is that there's more humor. The tone is slightly lighter. It's more fun. And from the video that you sent me, it seems like they're focusing more, even if it's not Zack Snyder directly, but it's the people above him, on characters that can be sold as toys. Is pretty much
Which is
what
fair.
I
That's
believe.
fine.
No, that's absolutely.
But like I think you said the same thing, and I think they might have said it in like one of the reports. You can change the tone all you want. If the story's garbage, the movie's gonna be garbage.
But I feel like if Batman vs Superman had been buoyed by a little more light, pleasant action, like just anything to make it a
Maybe.
little less heavy,
But the story,
I think I would have enjoyed it
the
more.
story was kind of like entirely bullshit.
Yeah, like the whole thing is chaos.
A fucking mess.
Yeah, but like I feel like there are movies where like Spider-Man 3 or like X-Men The Last Stand where like they're, not, I feel like, good movies, but I really enjoy them and they're buoyed by things that keep them a little more interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And even if Justice League is one of those, I think I will enjoy it more if there's some fun to it and it's a little more lighthearted than Batman vs Superman.
I think you kind of have a point because like I thought the story for X-Men Apocalypse was bad and a mess, but I still like kind of enjoyed it because it did have moments that I liked and characters that things that worked, even though the story was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Or with BVS, I was just like bored the
Yeah.
whole time I was watching it.
Yeah.
Like there's no fun in that movie at all.
None of the. I think that's my biggest issue with the movie, and why I was so confused by a lot of people that were like diehard supporters of it. It was like it just wasn't fun. Like the story wasn't good, and there was nothing that I enjoyed about it. Like it was just a boring experience.
Yeah, and like hopefully you can, get both. Like I feel like Avengers is a good example of that, where like it's fun and I care about what's going on and it makes sense to me and I understand, that the entire plot doesn't hinge on their moms having the same name. Like,
oh my god,
I
saw
that was the dumbest thing. It's almost like someone who never read a comic before and they were doing research when they were writing the script and they're like, Batman Superman's moms had the same name? Perfect.
Zach, did you notice this? Holy
Zach's
shit.
like, no.
You gotta put this in
Zach
there.
I didn't know that. I've only ever read The Dark Knight. I didn't know that.
So this morning I was on Instagram and somebody posted a picture they found a name tag from Starbucks, and it was Martha. And all the caption just said, "How do you know that name? How do you know that name?" And I was dying laughing, trying to.
It's like the best me.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain it to Ashley.
Did she not see BVS?
She hadn't seen the movie, and I was dying laughing. She's like, "I don't get it. It's not that funny." And I was like, "It is so funny because the movie sucks, and that was their whole explanation."
Yeah,
but I think with even hearing all this stuff about the set visits, the reason that I'm like the biggest reason I'm still not like excited about Justice League is it doesn't seem like I'm still not getting the Justice League that I as a fan want. You know, Superman's basically not going to be in it, which makes no sense to me. How do you have a Justice League movie without Superman?
I don't get why
you don't have
killed him.
You don't have Green Lantern in there, which I'd rather you have Martian Manhunter than Cyborg.
Yeah.
Which, because I think Cyborg still belongs with the Titans.
That is where I
like
know
Cyborg
him from. Yeah, like
he's a Titan. You know, not a making him a founding Justice League member still seems off to me.
Yeah.
It's just like it's almost like they're. I understand wanting to change things for the movie. You don't need to follow the comics exactly. It's like in the Avengers, they had Black Widow and Hawkeye instead of Wasp and Ant-Man or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's fine, it worked, but we still kind of got the Avengers movie that we wanted, right? Mm-hmm. All sorts like, well, they had Loki, you know, in there. It was alien invasion. They kind of did what we wanted. We got to see everything that we wanted to see, and it doesn't feel like we're going to get that with Justice League. We're not going to see what we want to see. We're just going to see what they come up with.
See, I feel like a big part of like the Avengers working, regardless of, you know, whatever characters they had the rights to use in a movie and everything, is just the heart of it and like the feel of the whole thing. And I'm not a big DC person, so I don't know a ton about like Justice League and the comics and everything, but I always loved that cartoon, and that's like my biggest exposure to the Justice League as a group. And I feel like that show did a really good job of just keeping track of all the characters and really getting their interactions, like the way that they all balance each other out and bounce off of one another. I always really liked that, the team dynamic. And so I feel like that could be really interesting. And like there were comparisons being drawn between Justice League and the Magnificent Seven, where it's like Batman and I think it's Batman and Wonder Woman going out and like building the team and getting people together. And there was the description of the part where Bruce Wayne goes and sees the Flash and is like, "Hey, I want you to join our team." And it sounded like...
It sounds stupid.
See, I got excited about that. It sounds like a little bit hokey and like bordering on
that's
ridiculous.
What comics are. That's why I think they went too far with Batman v Superman, where it's too dark and trying to be too grounded.
But I think they're trying. I'm guessing they're going to overcorrect with Justice League.
I'd rather them overcorrect this direction, in my opinion, because they can always pull back a little bit.
Batman's not one, because when I think of, I don't know, this is just my brain. So let me just, when I think of like Batman and the Justice League, I don't see Batman forming the Justice League, because Batman's always distrustful of the Justice League. He's always been a member mostly because he felt like he has to, and like him going out and recruit, "I want you to be part of the team, Flash." That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like they would meet and Batman would be like, Batman would be dragged into the Justice League.
But the entire last movie was Batman being distrustful.
But that's what I'm saying is fuck the entire last movie. I honestly hate BVS. It's stupid, and it's a movie that shouldn't have even been made, and they should have just made Justice League from the get-go.
But I think they're working in a world where they have to accept that Batman vs. Superman is canonical, you know? And I feel like them veering the other direction with it, I think it'll balance out to a point that feels good.
Just BVS just has made me it has poisoned my thoughts for all future DC movies.
See, it's this information we were getting now has made me really optimistic, because I haven't been a big Zack Snyder fan for a while. I think my favorite Zack Snyder movie is still Dawn of the Dead, and I feel like he hasn't changed or grown creatively much at all in a long time.
I think he just tries to make the same movie over and over again. It's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, because I feel like all of his movies have the same issues, and that's why I'm excited to hear like, this is the direction we're going in, and we're actively taking into account like, this is the criticism that Batman vs Superman got, and we're moving in a different direction because of that. Like, I'm really interested to see what they do, and I feel like it could bring the whole thing up a little bit and make me more interested in that whole universe. Although, I mean, it's a movie that ultimately, even though I'm not super attached to these characters, like, I was gonna see anyway. Yeah. And they're not, you know, making or breaking my interest in it with any of this. So I don't know. Maybe it's all gonna be the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hear these things and I don't know, because I want to be good, because I love the Justice League. I've said on before like how much I love the Justice League, but BVS just like poisoned me. It hurt me so bad that I can't accept anything that they tell me. Yeah, I'm just like, you can't. It's like they hit me too many times. I just can't. I'm done. So
I don't know. I'll give him another shot. I don't know, fucking whatever. Like you said, like
I'll wait and see.
I'm just gonna see it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it because I saw the train wreck that was Batman v Superman, and whatever. I can't not see these train wrecks sometime.
I'll see what the trailer has in store for me. Yeah. But I've been fooled by so many trailers.
Their trailers are fucking great for how terrible their movies are.
The Man of Steel trailer was one of the awesome.
Best trailers. It is amazing.
I hate Man of Steel.
Yeah. Is Man of Steel worse, do you think, than Batman vs Superman?
No.
Okay. Because Man of Steel, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, but I saw it twice, and like, I didn't dislike it. I sort of fell right in the middle where I was like, that had problems, but it was whatever. And and honestly, that's kind of how I feel about Batman vs Superman too, but more in a negative direction. Because like, there are some aspects of that movie that I really dig, and if it weren't for those, I might be totally turned off to Justice League, regardless of any of this news. But I feel like I was into Batman enough in that movie, despite his whole motivation being insane and like the Bat brand being ridiculous. Like, I enjoyed the Batman stuff enough that I'm looking forward to seeing him build a team and hang out with people and make friends.
We're gonna get super friends. The movie.
Yes.
We're gonna do like Justice League.
You never know how they're gonna set it up. He might be like reluctant to make the team, but he realizes with the information they're providing, they need these people.
Doesn't seem like he's reluctant to.
But we're hearing from one set visit.
Yeah,
this is super limited information.
2 years
ultimately,
before the movie comes out.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm still meh on the movie. So
yeah, ultimately, we've got an entire year and a half. We'll get a bunch more information, and we don't know much at all.
We've got a year and a half to be let down even more.
That's why you go in with reserved. Like, I'm not excited for this movie. I'm not like, oh, this is gonna fix everything. Yeah. But hearing what they're saying, it's like, okay, they at least realize how they went wrong with the last movie, and they didn't acknowledge that after Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody says. They doubled down with Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
They're like, they didn't like dark and gritty. Let's do darker and grittier. So it's like, at least this, they're like, okay, we kind of fucked up. We're gonna try something else.
And we get to see Suicide Squad still hasn't sold me. I don't know.
Oh, dude. See,
I've actually like the more stuff that comes out from Suicide Squad, the less excited I'm getting.
And like the more I hear about what a weird, crazy person Jared Leto is, the more I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to.
They come up with this soundtrack with all these like weird like pop bands and stuff on there, and I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
The more stuff that they've been bombarding stuff with Suicide Squad lately,
because they're trying to make up for Batman versus Superman.
And the more that comes out, the less I'm feeling it. The more I'm like, you're trying a little hard, and I'm gonna see it because I did like what I saw from the trailers, but the things they've been putting out recently just seem like too much.
See, I think that's just DC hedging their bet on. Like, from what we've heard, they're already planning a spin-off movie for, like, 3 of the characters and then sequels for Suicide Squad. So, this is their, like, okay, if Justice League fails, we need something.
See, I'm really intrigued, partially because after Batman vs. Superman, they went back and did some reshoots, apparently, to like add more humor and like stuff to Suicide Squad.
Or that David Ayer has denied.
Oh, really?
But who knows? But then other people have said, he's full of shit.
Yeah, and that could be.
Nobody knows the actual truth.
But he claims that they said, okay, we have this extra allotted money that we can use for reshoots. Is there anything you want to do? And he claimed that it's almost all action sequences that they shot. So to like add more like fun to the movie that way, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't know, because I already figured from the trailers and stuff that it was like it gave me a vibe of like a darker, like the other side of the Guardians of the Galaxy coin, kind of, where like it's like a weird team, ragtag weirdos, but like a little darker and a little, you know, because they're bad guys. Like, of course, it's gonna be more fucked up, but like, you know, still like jokey, fun, like scrappy guys. And I'm interested to see how well that actually plays, like how much of that there actually is in it, because that's what I'm looking for personally, and that's the aspect that seems the most interesting to me. But
to me, seeing all the stuff for Suicide Squad, and I know some people will get turned off by me saying this, but it kind of reminds me of like Smoking Aces, where it's like a dark, you're following like anti-heroes or bad guys, and it's supposed to be kind of funny and not take itself too seriously.
Man, I forgot about Smoking Aces.
Yeah.
But that's like a perfect comparison, because I get the exact same vibe from that I got from like the trailer for Smoking Aces, and I remember seeing that and being like, this looks badass, I'm excited, and then being a little let down.
It was alright.
Yeah.
It was in the right direction, it just didn't follow through. Hopefully DC has the ability, and David Ayer has the ability. I mean, they have a bunch of great actors attached to this, and from what we've seen, it looks like it's good, or at least good.
Yeah, ultimately, the biggest thing for me has just really been Jared Leto. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to give this man more money.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Like, he's sending people used condoms and shit, and I'm just like, I don't want to financially support you doing this.
He's just one of those people. Like, he gets into his shit.
Yeah, but in like a gross, upsetting way.
You heard he sent like while they were filming, he sent like a butchered pig's head and like a bunch of shit like that,
fuck?
and like dead rats to Cara Delevingne, because I guess in the movie she like uses dead animals somehow and shit, and it's just like, he's fucking all in.
Yeah, but like,
I think he is
not in a way I feel is like necessary.
I wouldn't be surprised if like 6 months from now you heard fucking Jared Leto had like a rocket launcher, was dressed up as fucking Joker and taking over Hollywood.
I want to believe that is outside the realm of possibility, but I don't.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I was just scrolling through to see if there was any like breaking news or anything on Twitter and stuff, but
It's Sunday.
nothing except that Nicholas Winding Refn or whatever said he's interested in doing a Batgirl movie. He'd like to direct a Batgirl movie, which I think would be really cool. But after seeing Neon Demon, someone else has to write it.
See, the only movie of his I've seen is Drive. I never
Drive
got
is
around
great.
to Only God Forgives.
I heard it's not good and not to bother with Only God Forgives.
I've heard mostly that, but I've also heard like it's just kind of fucked up and weird.
I've heard it's great if you're interested in cinematography. Like the shots in that movie are fantastic.
I just saw the Neon Demon yesterday, and it's a beautiful movie. Soundtrack is great. I'm probably going to buy the soundtrack in iTunes. Story, kind of weak. And there's a scene in it that just thinking about the scene makes me nauseous. So you have
I can't
to be able
tell if
to do
that's
that.
promising or not.
But it's
good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like,
for me, bad, because it was also predictable that was going to
Interesting.
happen.
Huh. Okay.
But I don't know. It's one of those movies that I didn't really like, but didn't hate it. But I'm curious enough that I want to recommend people to go see it so that I can hear what they think about
I
it.
still really want you to watch Tusk. We were talking about this the other day, but I feel like that is
that movie fucking...
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I made it like halfway through the movie and I had to shut it off because I was like, oh my god.
Is it gory? Because I can't handle gore.
Not as much as you'd expect, I
It's
think.
just one of those, like, the movie starts and you're like, okay, so this is lighter. Like, it gives you like this false sense of security with the tone of the movie and all this shit. Like, all about like I just all that shit. It's like, okay, this is a funny Kevin Smith movie, and then it's just like, just fucking straight up is like it's like a horror movie. Like it's the freakiest thing.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Like it's a psychological thriller.
But it's one of very few movies that I completely understand why people love it, because I love it, and I completely understand why people hate it.
I don't hate it. It was just it was tough.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 1 a.m, and I was like, I'm tired, and this it's just like weird, and like it's freaking me out.
But yeah, like I feel like that's a similar thing where like there are elements of that movie that make me feel like close to nauseous, although I've seen it so many times now that I'm pretty desensitized. But yeah, there are just things in that movie that are deeply unnerving and bizarre, but like I love it. And so I'd be really curious to watch Neon Demon and see if it's
I want you guys to both
like
go see Neon
gratuitous.
Demon and then tell me what you think about it. Because I want to talk to you about this scene that like makes me like want to throw up, but I can't because it would give everything away. So I want you to see it and then report back so we can talk about it. So, it is like 2 hours though, but it's a beautifully shot movie and the music is great. Like there's almost like scenes in it that are like awesome music videos within this, but like the story is kind of weak. But it's not as good as Drive. It's almost like because there's so like it's one of those movies where there's so little dialogue, and if you're gonna have little dialogue, the dialogue has to hit hard, and it just doesn't. So, but go see it.
I just want to do a marathon of his movies now. I don't know if I might die from what it sounds like.
Just go especially like just go see the Neon Demon and then let me know what you think about it, because I didn't really like it. But I'm so conflicted about it.
Sometimes that's what people argue is the best art. It's not pleasureful. It's not like, you know what I mean. It's somewhere in the middle where you're like, I don't quite understand what I'm feeling.
Right it makes you feel something.
Yeah. When I saw it though, we did have the theater to ourselves, so we were able to like converse like loudly about the movie and like comment as we were watching it, and I was just like. Just go see it. I'll stop talking about it. Just go see it and let me know what you think. That goes to you listeners out there too. Go see it and let me know what you think about it.
Go see the movie that makes Scott feel ill.
Oh my god, I was just driving around yesterday and that scene is just ingrained in my brain, and I was just like,
You're making me curious.
That's what I'm saying. Go see it. Anyway, is there anything else we want to talk about?
No, I think that's it.
I think we're done. Me bashing on Justice League and you guys being optimistic about it. I'm glad that Ben is here too, so we have like a third person to like bounce things off of.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
I'm glad you came. We always like having more people because when it's just Matt and I, we're usually like so on the same page that it's like kind of boring. Because we're like, yeah, I agree. Yep, I agree.
Well, yeah, 90% of the time we agree, and the 10% we don't. It's like one of us just doesn't give a shit about the other. So it's like.
Whereas like last week we talked about E3 a little bit, and Matt likes video games, so he's talking about stuff, and I was basically, honestly, kind of tuning him out because I don't care about video games.
It's just enthusiasm met with indifference.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the other 10%. Or Matt's like, yeah, this game, or this like that. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't care. Or he's going on about like why he wasn't impressed with the new Zelda game, and I was like, I've never played a Zelda game before. I don't care.
Oh, sacrilege.
See, I haven't either. I'm like a relatively big Nintendo person, but I've never played a Zelda game.
I'm Mario. I'm Mario and Pokemon.
Yep. And you've played Splatoon, right?
I tried playing Splatoon. I don't have Splatoon. My roommates had it.
It's one of my favorite video games I've ever played. I love it. I've put so many hours of my life into that game.
Crazy part is when I play Smash Brothers, Link is my character.
See, I'm not a big Smash Bros. Person.
I love Smash Brothers.
I'm terrible at it.
I like fighting games and racing games and Pokemon.
Well, those games are great when you have like fucking a huge group of people.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the type of video games I like, is playing with other people. I don't play, except for Pokemon, I don't play video games by myself. I watch TV by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I don't watch movies by myself either. TV is like the one thing I like to do like alone. But movies I like to watch with other people, and playing video games I like to do with other people.
I go and see movies by myself in the theater.
I'll do that.
But yeah, for some reason when I'm home alone, like I don't like watching movies very much.
Me either. Because I like to be able to like bounce things off of someone. So much movie. I don't talk through the entire movie, but it'll be like we can make comments about something, or I can.
And to like have somebody to talk to afterward about it.
Yeah, someone's like, I gotta, decompress about this movie. It's like when I think the last movie I watched, like not in a theater, was Crossroads, over at your house.
Weird, more dark than you remember. Classic.
I'd never seen it before, and I watched it with Elisha, and I was like, this movie's actually not bad. It's pretty intense.
It's really weird, yeah, because it's not what you expect, and it gets like way darker and more fucked up than you think.
Yeah,
but it's also like
kind of ridiculous at the same time.
The Britney Spears movie, and it's
a Britney Spears MTV movie.
Yeah, it's really weird. I should watch that movie again. It's been a few years since I saw that.
So I had to like talk about it after. That was a movie I had to talk about afterwards.
That's a movie that breeds way more discussion than you'd think.
Yep. Okay, I think that's it for today.
That's enough tangents.
That's enough tangents. Tangents are good. We've actually like got I think like almost a good hour on there now, huh? All right. So with that, you can find me online everywhere at Scotty Boy, SCOTTYBWO 4 Ys. Matt.
You can find me everywhere at Hagnerd, HAGNERD. That's Twitter, Instagram, all those places. You can find Ben.
Do you want to? If you want to share?
Yeah, my Twitter is my name, Ben Cannon, with the vowels removed, so it's BNCNNN. And then if you put Instagram on the end of that, that's my Instagram, which is just the worst, most unwieldy Instagram handle possible. Instagram. And yeah, I have a Tumblr that I never update. That's the same weird, nonsensical series of letters. But yeah,
my Tumblr is just basically like political things and vaporwave art and Simpsons quotes. It's so stupid. I can't even explain vaporwave because you bought that T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's just I like it. I don't even know the music. I've never even listened to it. I'm sure it's awful, but I like the art is funny and stupid to me. So
I didn't know what that like Vaporeon shirt was.
Yeah, it's
I just thought it was a really cool
vaporwave,
image.
whatever. I don't even understand. It's like crazy, like weird nonsense. And then apparently there's a genre of music off of it that I've never listened to and I'm sure is bad.
I have more to Google now.
All right, that's it for this week's episode of the podcast. So we'll smell you later.